Welcome back to the second part of my creative critical reflection. This is Osvaldo Delgado, candidate number 0019. For the third question of my CCR, it is how did your production skills develop throughout this project? Well, before I begin, I think it's important to sort of mention the skills I had before I started this class. Back in middle school, I was part of a environmental/technology magnet program. And for this program, we had to work a little bit with Blogger. We would add a sentence or two blog posts every once in a while. And we had very limited freedom with creativity and sort of what we could add to the actual blog. So what I knew was pretty much basic, how to post and stuff, but I didn't really have an in-depth knowledge of Blogger. So as I created the project, I definitely learned how to input different content into the actual blog post, how to add pictures, how to format things, and it was a little bit of a struggle if I'm being completely honest. At my school, I wasn't able to view my actual blog, so I had to go to blogger.com, log in, make any of the changes that I wanted, and then I had to wait till I got home to actually view these changes. So occasionally it was a little frustrating because I couldn't automatically view the changes that I was doing to my blog. So it was a little bit of a struggle, but once I got the hang of it, it wasn't too bad. With actually editing the pictures and stuff like that, I began by taking a look at Photoshop, since once again in my technology magnet program we had worked with it a little bit. But as I looked at some of the videos and I actually started messing with it, it was completely different from what I remembered. It was really difficult to sort of do basic things, so I just decided to switch over to PicsArt, which I had used to edit my own pictures in the past, and I found that it was a lot more convenient and it was just a lot easier to use. As you can see here, I played around with taking out backgrounds and sort of extending. This picture was for the feature spread, and I worked to extend the background all the way down. This picture here was for the cover, where I sort of used layers to put the masthead behind the model. With actual taking of pictures, I used my own Nikon and I used the Canon camera that we had in the yearbook room. So I decided to use both of these professional cameras just because I wanted to learn a little bit more. I wanted to sort of explore how to actually use professional cameras, since I had only really used the cameras for yearbook purposes. And I think it was really fun to play around with them and sort of see what different types of pictures you can take versus what you can take with your phone. Another skill that I developed as I worked on this project was actual planning. Before I could even start my photo shoot, I sort of had to plan out the different layouts that I wanted. You can see that there. I also had to look at inspiration from different genre magazines, as we can see with all these different things. And most importantly, I had to always look back at my target audience. So it definitely helped with my planning skills, as before this class I would kind of just put everything together, and now that I had to create my actual magazine, I had to sort of look at it by step and lay everything out. Another great skill that I learned as I created this project was how to look for fonts and how to sort of match them up. As we can see here, this is the font that I decided to use for my cover, and I think that it looks really cool because it has sort of a 1920s vibe, and I think that it was really interesting to explore the different fonts and sort of play around to make them match and sort of go with the style that I was going for. One thing that I noticed as I created my magazine was that I had to pay great attention to tiny details. As we can see here with my table of contents, I had to sort of arrange the different numbers according to the different topic that it was under, so culture and lifestyle. I had to sort of pay attention to what my genre magazine was doing to create things for my own. Same thing with the different pictures that I used. two shot, and with the magazine, which is a low angle shot, I had to sort of play around with the different things that I was learning for the pictures to incorporate them into the magazine and make sure that the effect that I wanted was being shown with the different things that I was learning in class. For the fourth question, it is how did you integrate technology, software, hardware, and online in this project? Well, as I discussed before, one of the main components was definitely Blogger. I sort of documented the entire process through Blogger and uploaded pictures and explained my thought process through this program as well. I used iMovie and Keynote to create the different videos that I have. Keynote and iMovie were used to create the photo shoot video, which creates sort of a slideshow of all the different pictures and helped me sort of visualize what I was dealing with. I used dafont.com, which helped me narrow down the different fonts that I wanted. And for putting together the actual magazine, I used BeFunky. Originally, I was going to use InDesign, but again, once I took a look at it, I just felt a lot more comfortable with BeFunky. I felt that it was a lot easier to use and just input shapes, text boxes, and pictures. So I decided to go with that, and I think it worked really well. As we can see here, I was editing my cover. It was very simple to just drop in text, drop in the different components that you wanted, and work with the layers. It was all very self-explanatory, so I decided to go with this. Well, as I showed before, cameras, I used Nikon and Canon. Besides that, I used different online magazines to sort of get inspiration. And besides that, that's pretty much it. Thank you, and this is my CCR.